So I am here at the home of Elizabeth Hawkins, and even though it's a cold, rainy day, it is just beautiful out here. And we are going to go into her home.
Hi guys, come on in.
Right.
All right.
So beautiful.
My sewing room story actually starts in the living room. So you kind of have to tell that to understand how thankful I am for my sewing room. So when we first designed the house, and our building plan actually had a cathedral ceiling. But we asked our builder if we could put a floor in it, because I already had designs on that being my sewing area. And he said yes, for $100 a square foot. So 300 square feet later, we have a floor in the living room. And so I'm kind of really glad that we don't have a cathedral ceiling, even if my sewing wasn't up there. But anyway, so now we're headed up to the sewing area. So after 18 steps up to the second floor, welcome to my sewing area. I wanted to make sure to put a door in, but there's a bedroom on this side and there's outlets on that side, and I didn't want a door, so I got two half doors. Welcome.
Beautiful. Okay, so where shall we go first?
Well, so back in August, we'd had some roof leak, and I had damage to that wall and this wall, our bedroom wall, and the kitchen wall. So we finally were able to get that done, and they painted, and I had to move everything either out. Yeah, I had to move everything out. Tables I folded down and cabinets to the middle, but everything had to go out. And when I got ready to put it back in, I had a reorganization and a pitch party. That's the reason I had brought all that stuff to guild meeting. It's like, okay, I don't need this stuff anymore. So in my redesign, nothing is added. It's all the same. These, if you've been up here, all of these cubes have been along that wall. This set of cubes is new. That set of cubes is new. I had an old brown bookcase, so I got rid of the bookcase, and there was a desk that was here. I cut it up, and it's out. It's gone. So I wanted my new storage to go with the white and yellow kind of theme. So I had all the other white cubes. And so I got those. And in redesigning, I wanted Big Burning to have its own space instead of being in front of my fabric cube. So I've got my featherweight table here. This is my one I use all the time. I do have another featherweight, and then that's my Bernina 350. I call it my workhorse, and this is my Bernina B500. That's just an embroidery machine. So this is my newbie purchase.
So have you cleaned up for us?
Not a whole lot, no.
Okay.
So, I did dust a little.
Okay. But you always cover all of your machines?
I do. I keep my machines covered to keep the dust and stuff. That's something I learned from my mother.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm OCD
That's something
about
I
that.
probably need to do.
Okay, so my cutting area and my rulers and all that stuff is here. I've got storage here. When they built up here, they made these two little alcoves, closets. I had this material, so it just goes along with my yellow, blue, with a little bit of red thrown in. Now in here, I have all kinds of storage. These are projects in the works.
Wow.
And planned. This is other crafting kind of stuff here. And of course, we'll get to the other side in a minute. This is, I put my feet up, I watch TV. Sometimes I do handwork. I've got needlework. It depends on how tired I am. And then in this little alcove, I have my charm packs, my layer cakes, my jelly rolls, and things that came together as a collection. I don't have any light in there, so and those are cut t-shirts ready to make a t-shirt quilt down there, plus my other storage.
Cool.
So now I have ADHD, so with my cubicles, especially on this side, you can tell they're all different colored cubes. So as you can probably guess, my red fabrics are here: yellow, blue, green, pink, brown, orange, black, white, gray. This is Christmas and this is fall. These are baby. So everything has a place. I don't know if it's the ADHD OCD. I have a plastic bag ones on this side. I have a scrap bin. I have old thread bin. So yeah, this right here is pretty special. I don't know if you saw, we didn't see the treadle downstairs. We didn't videotape it, but that was my great grandmother's. And now now I'm an old fart, right? My grandmother.
We all are.
My grandmother was born in 1893.
Wow.
But the serial number on the treadle downstairs is 1903, from 1903. So that would have put her at like 10. I don't think my great-great-grandparents would have bought my great-grandparents would have bought my grandmother a nice treadle sewing machine when she was 10. So it had to be her mother-in-law's. So it came from the Bates family. It's been fully restored. I can use it. So if I lose power, I've got a machine that I can use. But these were the original that he had to change out the cabinet. The top was, the lid was damaged. But these were the original drawers on the machine. And he says, oh, there were 3 and somebody had already cut 2 of them off. Don't know why that would have happened, but so he took these drawers and he made me a little drawer cabinet out of it, so I could hold on to those. And I thought that was really
Special.
kind.
Very special.
Yeah, very special. And so you asked me about my iron when
Yes.
we weren't filming. So Big Bernie. This is the most unusual ironing board and iron that I've ever seen. It is a Bernina. It's got starch and stuff on it. I take this off and wash it every once in a while. But put your hand on the board. Put your hand on it. It's hot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's on. It has its own. It has its own heating element. Plus, it also has a fan that will suck the fabric down to the board and won't move.
Wow.
While you're ironing. It also cools this thing off a little while you're using it. This is the hottest iron I've ever been around. Yeah.
Wow.
So I found this at a Hardcastle during a tag sale. I can't usually go on Thursday through Saturday. I usually go on Wednesday on my half a day. And I walked in the back room, and standing up with this end up was this ironing board that had Bernina across it. It's like, well, that's unusual. And I got to looking at it, and it had this motor and all this stuff. I was like, that's unusual. It had $35 on the ironing board. And so I got to look in. There are tables, and then there's usually what I call the milk crates underneath with stuff in them. And as I walk around the room, I'm looking underneath, and guess what was in one of the milk crates?
The iron.
The iron. The iron didn't have a price on it. So I go to David and I said, you've got this Bernina iron board, and this is a Bernina iron. I think the two go together. How much will you charge me for the iron? It doesn't have a price on it. He said $25. So I got Big Bernie and the iron for $60.
Wow. Cha-ching.
Best find ever.
Wow.
And it will spoil you really quick. from ironing with just about anything else. The fabric gets so hot, and if you're starched, it will just, it's almost like picking up cardboard after.
Wow.
So it doesn't move, it doesn't go anywhere. It's awesome to work with.
So, and was it steaming? It sounded like it was
yeah.
So where do you put the water?
In this hole right here.
Oh, so it's...
So when you turn it on, you can turn the iron on only, or you can turn the iron in the steam. When the steam is ready, this light will be on. And this will tell you when it's empty and needs more water. So let's just do, which way am I? I haven't ironed these yet. So, all right, so... I mean, you can't get, and it's sorry. It is flat and tight, and you don't have to put stuff on it, so it's great. So, but this is my other little. So this is my, if I'm working little bitty pieces, I'm here with my my new Alyssa Pro 3, which has the it was a daily special at Missouri Star. This is it's their stuff on it. So, but again, this is my space. This is my 300 square feet of sewing.
Awesome.
Questions?
Okay, so what's your favorite thing about this place?
It's mine. I can have all of my stuff out. I can walk up here after a horrible day, and I can watch TV or have it on. I can sew. I can cut. Sometimes cutting for me is as therapeutic as anything else. And I can reduce my stress level. Or I can just, if he's watching sports, I can come up here and just while away the day, which is what I'm going to do this afternoon after this. And
Me too.
yeah, and I can watch whatever I want on TV. It's because it's my
You can hold the remote control all by yourself.
I can hold the remote control. I can control whatever's on. I can cast. So yeah, it's good. And I also love my view.
That's what I was just going to say next, that you've got a beautiful view up here. And I'm sure it's lovely in different seasons of the year too.
Yeah, fall is the best. Fall is the best.
Gorgeous.
It doesn't look too great right now with this yucky day. And there's so much natural, when it's not cloudy, there's so much natural light. But the other thing I wanted in here was lots of lights. So I've got the ceiling fan lights with daylight. Everything's got daylight bulbs in it. The track lighting, and then the cans. So this, I used to keep my iron plugged in. If you can't see it, but there's two outlets right here, and one is labeled specifically for the iron, because even with my other Alyssa that has the feet on it that raise up and down, I had it plugged in this one, it would dim these lights when I used it. And occasionally, and when I started using this one, it blew the breaker every time. So my wonderful husband had our electrician come and to put in a second outlet that is on its own breaker for this puppy. So, but notice that the iron is in one and the table is plugged into the other. Because if I put them both, it will blow the breaker.
Right.
That's the downside of this puppy. But the good side is it's an amazing iron system. So,
And you got it working
I've
perfectly
got it
now.
working, yes.
So if you could change one thing, what would you change?
The 18 steps up here.
Me too. And do you have any tips or tricks that you would like to share with the group? I'll tell you
You
what.
caught me off guard on that one.
Sorry about that. One of the things I'm just so kind of jealous of right now, besides the space, is how neat everything is and that you've got everything covered up. That's something I probably need to do a better job. I thought about making a cover for my machine. I don't have one yet, but maybe we should do that as a group
Maybe.
project.
Oh,
or something.
that sounds divine. Tips, all right. So again, my ADHD, my OCD, organization. If you know where everything is, then it makes sewing time so much easier. So have a system. For me, my cube system works. If I need, I need a little bit more blue. I went digging. So this is Alice's last year's with the 20. Well, instead of doing another 25 block quilt or 20, anyway, whatever it was, I divided them up and I'm making 4 instead. I was having 2 different fabrics. And I'm down to these 2, putting them together. So I'm making 4 twins that will go to hospice for donation instead of 2 big quilts, which I don't need 2 more big quilts right now. Not from this.
Yeah.
I like it, but it's not from this. So I was like, okay, what am I going to sash that with? So it's like I didn't have enough because all of these pieces came from my stash.
Right.
But I didn't have enough of any of it to sash it all. So I went to my stash and got the sashing, and then the other one's going to be trimmed with red with yellow cornerstones. Again, that came from I went to my red. Once I decided I wanted blue for this one, I went to blue, so I went to red. So it's really, organization is significant. And when I get ready to do a new project that I'm already working on, I've already got them stacked up and ready to go. Or if I don't want to work on this for a while, I'll put it away and then I'll get out one of the others. So for me, organization is a key.
Great tip. Thank you so much. We really appreciate you letting us come visit.
No problem. Have a great day, everybody.
Thank you. Great sewing day today.
Yes.
So we were talking after we finished filming, and Elizabeth has another tip for you. This is one of her guest rooms that's right off of her sewing room. And I just felt like this was something we should share. So, Elizabeth, tell us about it.
Okay, well, it's nothing, really. This is a cheap Dollar Tree tablecloth that is plastic, that nothing will soak through on it. And so I come in and lay this out on the bed.
It's plastic on the, that's plastic on the top too, okay.
And lay out my strips after I've cut them, or before, however, I like to do it after. I lay out my strips after I've cut them, and I starch them, and they lay here to dry, and then I can go do something else, and then I'll cut some more, and I'll come back and forth and back and forth. I can fold this up and put it away without any problem, and I've got another one that I keep in the retreat box, and so I can use it when we're out at a retreat instead of getting something all nasty and sticky. So.
Right. Good idea. Thank you.
You're very welcome.